Governor Newsom says he is fed up. There are no more excuses. He says the state has done its part, providing plenty of funding to get encampments cleared up. He wants to see the results now. Governor Newsom made the announcement here in Los Angeles yesterday. He joined Caltrans to clear several encampment sites.
And we had our big body challenge today. 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups. You try to get under 5 minutes. How'd you get? We got close. I was about 5:25. You were right behind us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat. Happy Thursday. Why didn't we do so happy it's Thursday? That would kind of have fit into our whole...
So Sunday's the shit show, Wednesday's regular
hump day,
turkey day. I don't know.
Yeah. And then it's so happy it's Thursday because we're so clever. No, we're doing the TMI. How are you? Long time no see.
I've been off work for a whole 15 minutes, so let's do this.
Drink up. Let's have some catching up to do.
I'm working on it. My beer is matter of minutes, so it's not catching on the camera very well.
Okay, good.
It's delicious. Original Pattern Brewing. You guys should sponsor me. I love all your beers.
Yes, let's get that sponsor going. Come on. We need a good local brewery or winery sponsoring us. I need it.
I'll switch to malt liquor if it's free. Send me some malt liquor. Let's get some King Cobra sponsored by King Cobra.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we're gonna dive in. We want to first ask everyone, please, to make sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. We are, as ever, so grateful for all of your support and for showing up to hang out with us 3 times a week. What? It's crazy. All right, do we just start with our cheers today?
Let's have a reason to drink. Let's do it.
Let's have a reason to drink. So I know we do not normally espouse the teachings of the religious folk, but this seemed pretty cool in Chicago, which has been inundated and infiltrated by the Gestapo, DHS department, and their ICE thugs. One of the ministers at a church there, he and his congregation have a different kind of nativity scene on display, and that is their way of protesting what's happening in their community.
We have here is centurions who are also ICE in some sense.
Roman centurions wearing green vests with the word ICE handwritten on the front. One of the updates Pastor Michael Wolf has made to the nativity display this year at Evanston's Lake Street Church. Another, zip ties on the hands of the baby Jesus.
Our baby Jesus has zip ties on his hands because that's an actual incident that happened in our city. These are real world things that are happening, and we're trying to depict them and bring the sacred into it to tell a story.
Walk with power! It's a story this socially active church has been telling for years. Most recently in Broadview at the ICE detention facility, where in November, Wolf and other ministers were arrested on misdemeanor charges of obstruction and disorderly conduct.
They all have to make decisions of what's important and what are the priorities in life, what time is the right time to speak up and stand up for what is right.
The pastor says this display also sends an important message, especially at this time of year, about how we should be treating our neighbors.
It's really important how we treat our neighbors because we find out if you read the Gospels, how we treat our neighbors is how we are treating Jesus.
We reached out to Homeland Security, which so far has had no comment on this unique protest. Since the original pictures were posted to Facebook, the display has suffered under the elements. Mary's gas mask is gone, and the zip ties have been removed from the baby Jesus. The Lake Street Church says its work will continue as long as immigrants remain at risk.
Well, cheers to them for trying. I know that a lot of ministers and religious people in that community and in every community, honestly, across the nation are, have been arrested, protesting, have been knocked to the ground. So it's not like the Proud Boy Boogaloo Boy, ICE, thugs have some kind of higher level of respect for people, the clergy at all. And I do like that, to me, that is the only thing that religion is good for, is reminding people how they should serve each other and that we are all part of a community. So cheers to them. Cheers to them.
And I don't get down with any religions. I respect everyone's right to them. But if you're going to have a religion and you're Christian and you don't espouse the same things that this guy is preaching, you've really been hoodwinked by your religion. Yeah. So at least this is, I could mess with these guys. They're doing the right thing here. So that part I respect.
Me too. So cheers to them. Cheers.
Here.
All right, we got another cheers to go. Thursdays we have such an abbreviated show that we don't do the wheel unless we hear a crazy outcry from all of you folks who miss it. But did you want to start with something fun, or do you want to jump into it and then take a break? We don't have that much fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, why not? We showed so many cats yesterday. Let's kick it off with some dogs and
just a little bit of joy before we dive into the.
We will get properly
sad.
liquidized.
Liquidated. Liquidated. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Pups and dogs and food or something like that.
Gentle. Oh my god.
Tiny. One small bite. Take it. Three, 4, 5. Okay.
Yeah, he don't care.
Don't eat it. Just
Oh my God, that is so funny. Dogs are hilarious. Wait, is that true, Audrey? I didn't know that. My dog loves cheese. Oh, I didn't know that.
Most cheese most animals can't break down milk products. So even cats aren't supposed to have milk.
Right. Yeah. We never gave our cats milk, but we do sometimes give Lucky cheese. It's so funny that hoovering thing that they all do. And yet if you give them one piece of popcorn, that can take 5 minutes. In my experience with my 2 dogs, it's just very funny to see that. Very delicate. That was cute. Nice. Okay, let's move on to the big announcement today. We covered yesterday that Kalshi, the betting market, was showing us the numbers for who was going to win the Time Person of the Year. And here's a shocker. They were correct in the betting markets. Time Magazine 2025 was the year when artificial intelligence's full potential roared into view, and when it became clear that there will be no turning back. That is some fourth estate holding power to account journalism for you, for delivering the age of thinking machines, for wowing and worrying humanity, for transforming the present and transcending the possible. The architects of AI are Time's 2025 Person of the Year. Fuck you. I hate it. I hate it.
I hate it on every level. Look, they used to give the Person of the Year. It doesn't matter if you're an evil person or a good person. That was always weird. We're going to give it to Trump because
Hitler.
He's so disruptive. Hitler,
right,
so disruptive. So most influential. But person is in the title here, people. It's in the title. What are we doing?
It's so disgusting. And obviously love all the response from all of you, of course. But to pretend that this is something now we can't do without when nobody's doing with it right now at all anyway, and everything that's happening with it right now is actually harmful to all of us. But then so that's the bigger issue, obviously. But obviously also that picture on the right with all of, it's Elon Musk and Sam Altman and the Anthropic person. And I don't know, I can't see that, right?
Making them seem like the iconic bridge builders that were
from 1932, like working people.
These guys are literally going to die if they move.
Who are building things with their hands, risking their lives for something else, which probably shouldn't have been done anyway. I think that was for the Chrysler building. But like, those are not the same group of people. And to call back to that is just repugnant. Especially knowing they want to get rid of all those people. Like, that's their whole thing, is get rid of all those guys up there. Get rid of them.
Yeah, they're anti-worker. Why you're making them look like the working class? Are you kidding me? I hope that, who knows, it's news goes so quickly, but if nothing changes, I'm going to use that picture for our next show and put Musk up there with the Nazi salute, and we'll do all the
exactly.
We'll put the real guys on the ledge there.
Let's really, really see who they are, because that is disgusting. Not one of them is pro working class, and they talk about it. Like, they talk about it openly, that their plan is a new social contract. Get rid of all the people. It's gross. All right. But, yesterday we were talking about the new commission that Jeffries put together with Ted Lieu as the head of it. The other person who's one of the heads of this AI commission is Representative Josh Gottheimer, who holds up to $40 million worth of stock in Microsoft and receives millions of years in income from it on the Dems' new AI commission. So I am sure
he's going to regulate the hell out of it, right? He put all these safeguards in place to make sure that Microsoft doesn't do anything irresponsible in the AI field. No, this is all just that's just as crony an appointment as Trump putting Hegseth in charge of the Department of War.
Of course. It's like the FAA letting Boeing inspect themselves and then planes fall out of the sky. Like, it's so corrupt and so clearly just, that doom loop. I mean, it really is. It's like, okay, we're starting the commission to investigate the people who are paying us to say how great they are. And then we're going to investigate and come to the realization that we actually really do need AI. It is too big to fail. Like, if they keep doing this for everything that they push forward, it's in, the media, they'll plant a story and then they'll cite that story, and that, like Hillary with Russiagate and the investigation into the, who is the person who put the paper together that said that Trump was like being peed on by being peed on by some, the commission, or God, what was that paper that kept, and then they would cite it. Like, her campaign pays the people to come up with this fake research, and then they cite the fake research. I mean, it's just so insidious, and it makes it so that you cannot trust anything. Like, Time magazine, I think, used to be a source of news and facts. I think, I don't know, didn't it?
It's long gone. I mean, I'm nominate me for Robot of the Year, because Robot of the Year over here. If AI is Person of the Year, why not?
God, yeah.
And you got Bari, right? I said her name correctly. I apologize.
Look at you, because a newfound respect for her.
Barry Weiss running around interviewing Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, like acting like that's what everyone's curious about. What is Erica thinking?
I'm home, shalom, drop the phone, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
As she cries and reaps the benefit of her husband's doing politics exactly the right way.
Yeah, well, we've seen clips, but I think Saturday is the whole interview. They're hyping it up.
Yeah, the 13th.
Coming
What's today?
Saturday.
11, 20. Yeah, Saturday. Oh, good. We'll be able to watch it, so you all don't
We'll
have
have
to.
some clips for sure from that.
We also have this great new deal announced by billionaire Bob Iger of Disney. You're never going to believe it. Partnering with OpenAI to further immiserate the creative community.
Why did you decide to invest $1 billion in OpenAI along with this deal?
Well, obviously, we've been mindful of the significant growth in AI to begin with, and extremely impressed with the progress that Sam and OpenAI have made. And that includes, by the way, as I said earlier, their agreement to both honor and value and respect our content. And we want to participate in what Sam is creating and what his team is creating. We think this is a good investment for the company. It's kind of a way in of sorts for us to appreciate even more what is obviously something that has significance in terms of the long-term impact on our business.
And there are warrants that came along with it. I guess you're not giving us any specifics, though, in terms of where those are struck. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I think that's correct.
Okay. Bob, at the same time you announced this deal, I reported on a cease and desist letter that was sent to Google. I would imagine there's not a coincidence in terms of the timing. I'm curious as to what your conversations have been like with other platforms, including Google, and why you chose to make that move today.
Well, we've been aggressive at protecting our IP, and we've gone after other companies that have not honored our IP, not respected our IP, not valued it. And this is another example of us doing just that. We've been in conversation with Google, basically expressing our concerns about this, and ultimately, because we didn't really make any progress, the conversations didn't bear fruit, we felt we had no choice but to send them a cease and desist.
So what's interesting is the people who write for animated features are not allowed to unionize. So, when everybody, and I know we talked about this at the time, but when people, I can't remember why, it might have been because of the writer's strike, but I don't think so, because most writers know that animated writers are not unionized. But, all the references to that movie Ants or Bug's Life, whichever, they're sort of similar, obviously.
Right.
I think Bug's Life about, there are more of us than there is of the bad guy, and we all work together. And, it's this big sort of like workers rally. But they do not allow their writers to unionize, even though those Pixar and Disney animated features rake in billions of dollars. So this doesn't even protect, this is really just the bottom line for Iger.
Yeah, and I imagine in the animation area, you're just going to have people's voices. I mean, that's the only real thing that's going to exist, because a lot of the animation could be shored to AI. I think it's easier. It's got a lot less work. It's really simple. It can check that there are 4 fingers every time or whatever. It's not like a hand where all of a sudden they have to do this complex reasoning. Right. So yeah, I mean, did you? And the other thing, what are they gonna? They're gonna have AI buddies. You're gonna have your Mickey buddy who's gonna ask for nudes from kids. Did you read that story about that Tesla daughter?
Oh no.
This lady was driving around in her Tesla, and which chat is in Tesla?
I saw a boy one with an educated valet or something, but it got mature. But so, yeah, I don't know the one you're talking about.
Well, this one, her kid was in the Tesla talking to the AI over the speakers or whatever. And the AI asked for nudes from the 12-year-old kid.
Did she have them handy or what? That's
yeah. I mean,
crazy.
They're really, because they were asked on it. It was Elon Musk's AI, which I already forget the name of it. What is it called?
I don't give a
Jesus
shit.
Christ, I can't. Who fucking cares? Barry. It's Barry Weiss.
Barry Weiss, yeah.
But they were asked about it, and they're like, well, the spicy, I think they asked the chatbot, Grok. They asked Grok, that's inappropriate. What are you doing? And it was like, well, sometimes we're a little spicy kind of thing. asking a 12-year-old for nudes is a little spicy.
Also, asking anybody for nudes, like, what a weird thing in your car, right? Like, you're in your car driving. What the fuck is happening? Like, I need you to tell me where to go, not what?
Yeah, but we're supposed to just take the reins off and let this thing go exponentially grow on its own with no regulation whatsoever while this shit's happening. Well, American spy organizations all have the technology to drive your Tesla off a fucking cliff.
Yeah. And are surveilling us and the outside. Like, Waymo is surveilling everything around it also 24 hours as it's driving around. That is mass surveillance, collecting all of our data, which we did not, like, even just having, like, cameras on every block, all of that just came into being. We didn't get to vote on that. And at one point, you used to only have to have, at least out here in California, you used to only have to have your license plate on the back. Then when they started doing traffic light cameras, you had to have your license plate on the front also so that they could identify the car. There was some legal pushback on that, and I think it stopped for a while, but it's back. I don't know. It's all really, but that stuff was sprung upon us with no input from us at all.
Absolutely not. And not that you can actually stop it, but they do sell plate covers that will hide your plates from these things. If I don't know how legal they are everywhere, but
because you would be pulled over if your license, if you didn't have a front plate that was readable, you would get a ticket.
Right, but it's a refraction thing somehow.
Oh,
so it will block, just like they have glasses you can wear that do the same thing for facial recognition to just throw it off. And
oh, I like that.
But these things that's exist, but it's just like, it's just temporary anyway. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure out another way. That Flock Safety CEO who was really upset that, he has cameras everywhere and making the neighborhoods and communities safer all over the United States. And the terrorists are the people who developed the app that alerts people where the Flock Safety cameras are. He called them terrorists. So that's what happens if you push back against this ever expanding surveillance state. This is a snippet of what we were talking about yesterday, the TED Talk by Carol Cadwalader, I think is how you pronounce her last name. The whole talk really is good, even though, yes, I know TED Talks are like, a neolib fantasy, but it was a really good full, I don't know if it was 15, 20 minutes, but this was a good minute just to give you a taste of it.
When we broke the Cambridge Analytica story about the harvesting 87 million people's Facebook data, people freaked out, rightly. This is chicken feed compared to that. But it is the blueprint. It's always the data. Which is why it's so important that you start thinking about your private life. The oligarchy doesn't want you to have one. This is the old headquarters of the East German secret police. They kept detailed files on almost 1 in 3 of their citizens. That is nothing compared to what Google has on every single one of us and hundreds of other companies. The entire business model of Silicon Valley is surveillance. It harvests our data in order to sell us stuff. We are already living inside the architecture of totalitarianism.
Yes, we are.
We really are. And a whole bunch of men who never got laid until they had millions are creating the AI. What could go wrong? I mean, it is so clear every time any one of those monsters opens his mouth, how socially inept he is.
Have you tried at a party? You're at a party and you ask Grok to say something funny about every person.
Funny joke.
Dude, funny. Mind blown. The funniest thing that you've ever done in your life.
What does he call that? Like vulgar? Was it vulgar Grok? What did he call it? He was like, but then you can really you can up it to vulgar Grok. It's so funny. Like,
extremely vulgar.
It would be hilarious if it weren't so terrifying. But just because that alone, like the data mining isn't terrifying enough, which it is, Yeah, exactly, Stephen, with the Oracle, like, when we surveil, it's the good surveillance, good surveillance guys. But all of this surveillance data and tech was first performed and used and in such a horrifically abusive way on Palestinians, and they brag about it. All of these people are huge genocidal Zionists. They brag about their battle-tested AI tech, and now it's here. And what's his face from Fox, Hegseth, didn't he have his own Fox show? I mean, like, whatever. They're all the same. It's just these Republicans are so brazen and proud. It's like the IDF soldiers, live streaming their own genocidal actions with glee. That's this whole administration. But here he is talking about now how we're going to be bringing general AI into warfare and encouraging anybody in the military to, adopt this new method going forward of where's daddy? Daddy's home, the Lavender system.
The future of American warfare is here, and it's spelled AI. As technologies advance, so do our adversaries. But here at the War Department, we are not sitting idly by. Under the leadership of President Trump, America will lead the charge on this technological transformation by revolutionizing the way we win. And that's why today we are unleashing GenAI.mil. This platform puts the world's most powerful frontier AI models, starting with Google Gemini, directly into the hands of every American warrior. At the click of a button, AI models on GenAI can be utilized to conduct deep research, format documents, and even analyze video or imagery at unprecedented speed. Building on the great work of Undersecretary Emil Michael and his team, we will continue to aggressively field the world's best technology to make our fighting force more lethal than ever before. And all of it is American-made. The possibilities with AI are endless. Now, let's get to work.
Department of War.
Let's get to work.
Nobel Peace Prize, FIFA Peace Prize winner Donald Trump in the Department of War, led by the Fox News host,
who's tatted up with his, white Christian Nazi supremacy tattoos. Nazi tattoos. I'm so glad you brought that up because it feels like a little late to talk about it. But this made me so mad that when Trump got his FIFA prize, was that a week ago? I mean, it seems like an eternity ago, but I think it was a week ago, December 6th. Where are we now? Not even a week, 5 days ago. Here is Chef Jose Andres. Football brings the world together. That's why we love the World Cup. How can FIFA give a peace award to someone who does the opposite, someone who divides with hate, trashes Somalis and Haitians, and makes Latinos fear walking the street? That's anti-football. And bombing boats in the Caribbean? This prize betrays the beautiful game. FIFA is betraying their core fans that made FIFA possible.
Amen. 100%.
His own people were bombed by Biden giving money and bombs and information to Netanyahu. And he said, fuck all for that. Like, nothing. And that, yes, I agree with him. But why don't you talk about FIFA still allowing Israel to play? Why don't you talk about your good pal Biden, who's supplying the arms to the monsters who are blowing up your people with very well-marked vehicles that said World Central Kitchen or whatever the WCK. Right. Yeah. But he said nothing. I just this is why it keeps happening. It's like the double taps, right? Obama starts the double taps, calls the people who survive squirters, and then he has his militia do the double taps. We showed last week, the scores of articles about war criminal Barack Obama. Nobody talked about it. If you were a liberal who talked about it, or if you were somebody who talked about it to libs, they still don't think that he's a war criminal, even though he started 5 new wars in his 8 years. Nobody is ever held accountable. We always are just looking forward, and then Trump is gross, so we're going to call out Trump and his people, and they should be called out. They're disgusting. But like, it's like, it's like, well, when China does the social credit score, that's bad. When we do it, it's good. When Obama does the double tap war crimes, says that he's allowed to assassinate Americans abroad, that's okay. When he blows up, Doctors Without Frontier Hospital, whatever, that's fine. One Nobel Peace Prize winner blowing up somebody else, but we only care when Trump does it.
Yeah, and I mean, all this, just to bring it back to the AI tech that we're so proudly integrating into the U.S. military had like an 80% false ratio of targets in Israel. So it's like, you're just saying, don't ever trust authority on any level, because we're just going to implement the things that we're getting paid to implement. We're like branding for AI, and AI is going to give them the permission to accidentally kill a lot of innocent people, which is what they want. The military loves that shit.
Yep. And even in like regular, I said, frontier. I mushed French and English, the frontier. Frontier. ChatGPT, like asking it historical questions has like a 50% error rate. Even for things that are just like, I mean, I know I'm probably one of the few who still listens to a Breaking Point sometimes, but oh gosh, wine always, but thank you for reminding me, I should definitely refill. Sagar, who has a baby, and now all of a sudden he's woken up to, regular grocery store prices to healthcare costs. It's just always so fascinating when people finally like key into the reality that everyone else is experiencing, or even if people aren't experiencing, might have the empathy or heart or open mind to. Yeah. Anyway,
honestly, a lot of Republicans just lack the empathy until it happens to them. It's the same with libs, but like,
too.
A lot of Republicans that I know, it's a very selfish mindset, and then something happens in their life, and they're like, well, that thing the left is right on that thing.
Right. Exactly. I feel like libs are better about it until having that empathy might infringe on their personal comfort for a second, and then they're like, fuck the immigrants.
They have all that theoretical empathy is there.
Yeah. Right.
But if it actually impacts their bottom line, the libs are the first to go, whoa, fuck that.
Yeah.
We didn't really support that. We're we're fiscally conservative again. Fiscally conservative.
Exactly. So anyway, he was saying that he was trying to calculate, like through ChatGPT, basically said, this is how much my baby weighs. This is the medicine. How much should I give her? And it was wildly off, that's like a very simple calculation, right? I mean, that's actually something you can just do with a computer, which is like, the early stages of AI is a computer or a calculator, right? And it got it wrong. So we should absolutely, for Time Magazine to say that, already proclaim that like, oh, we can't live without this new invention.
Look, it's just their bot. They're getting paid to promote AI, or they want access to these people. They want to be able to talk to Sam Altman. They want to buy into the craze of what's going to sell in magazines or whatever. But it's none of that has to do with journalism or looking out for the public at all.
At all. And now we're in this place where I don't know if it's too late. This was one other thing that somebody posted today. ChatGPT, how to say stagflation without saying stagflation. Try something like conditions in the labor market are cooling and inflation remains somewhat elevated. And he's quote tweeting Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying conditions in the labor market are cooling and inflation remains somewhat elevated. Now, of course, I don't know when, like, it could just be that ChatGPT then just takes it from Powell. I'm not saying that Powell looked into ChatGPT to get it, but like, it doesn't matter.
He did. He just put it in ChatGPT and said, write my research paper.
But probably. But even if he didn't, even if it happened the other way, what that shows you is when you ask a question of ChatGPT, it is pulling certain people's words, phrases. That's not reality. That's not facts, right? So like, either way,
It's not seeking the truth. It's
Right.
seeking the popular opinion of the
right
truth.
of the people in power who program, right? Like who are
Right.
changing
Exactly.
the algorithms. Yeah.
And it's dumbing everyone down. Like I mentioned the story the other day, but this professor put in his paper in white ink so that, you know, when you copy and paste his assignment into ChatGPT or these AI, you know, things, you don't realize that he's put a little prompt into the script of what to write the paper on, and he put and make it all based on Marxist theory. And so everybody turns in these Marxist papers on, I forget what the subject was,
Right.
but it's because there was white ink and they didn't realize when they copied and pasted it over, it had these secret instructions to make their paper Marxist. And then so the professor went to his class and said, hey, I did this little trick and got you guys. Admit if you use Chat GPT or AI to write your papers. And his AI bot had already caught, his anti-AI bot had already caught like 40% of the class. But then 60% of the class ended up saying we cheated. So even more than his AI bot said, we just copied and pasted a paper. So these kids coming out of college in grad level classes are not writing their own fucking papers. This is not good for society.
It's horrific for society. It's awful. And I'm so glad that you told that story again, because when you told it yesterday, I wasn't listening at all. And I just smiled and nodded. So
fair.
Thank you.
Fair.
And yet I wonder how, like, if only they read those papers based on Marxist ideology, they would be coming, if they had read their own cheat papers. That is really depressing. I mean, it was depressing enough to me when I would see people read Cliff Notes, right? Like, why are you even here? What do you get out of this?
And look, it's one thing, like some industries, some fields of education, it may be less impactful, like history or something. I mean, whatever, you know, because ultimately, if you get the right opinion at the end of it, great. But you've got med students using AI to get through their classes because they're allowed to have laptops during tests for these things. And there was a student that came out and said, all of our entire class is submitting AI papers. They don't know how the body works anymore. These are doctors, right?
That's crazy. How is that going to like? What's happening? That's horrific, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
My older son Asher had a friend over last night who is taking his, a gap year now. He's working as an EMT. He worked 116 hours last week. So first of all, that's crazy. Like, I remember when we were in college, med students or pre-med, talking about like there was a possibility of a shift so that people weren't working 48-hour shifts, because do you really want somebody operating on you or what, like in the ER who's on his 48th hour? But we don't talk about that anymore. That's just gone. Like, oh, we all did it. You're going to do it. But he was talking about like, he is going to be in such wild debt from medical school. And we need, like, he's a smart kid. He's a good, kind person. He works really hard. We need people to go to med school. Are we the only industrialized country that puts our doctors into that level of debt? Like, why aren't we paying people to go to medical school, to nursing school, to like, we need experts. Oh wait, you're muted. Sorry.
Yeah, and when you load people with work schedules like that, you're creating drug addicts as well.
Yeah.
You're creating people who are on every drug in the world to stay up and get through their shift or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's so you want your doctor on the shit that Elon's on, like
or what's his name? Alex Karp. Just neurodivergent.
Ketamine and
just neurodivergent. I actually saw, and I mean, because I remember seeing like little snippets of clips of Alex Karp from years ago, like from a decade ago, 15 years ago. And I mean, he was still off-putting and gross.
Oh, the normal Karp
but
clip?
he was like, he was normal. Like, he was not able to, the way he was behaving was obviously drugged out. It's also adding another decade and a half of everybody just kowtowing to him and saying, you're so brilliant and everything you do is right. Which is also,
No, but the clip is from like 7 or 8 years ago. And he's like, he's definitely not neurodivergent there.
Yeah.
He's a normal kind of guy.
Yeah.
So
he can sit in his chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, let's just, because we didn't really talk about the insane stuff that Trump has been saying out loud is just so hateful. Because between him and Elon Musk very publicly talking about basically we just want white people in this country, while they're doing AI, while they're starting, like not ending the war they said they would end, not ending the genocide, and now starting a war on Venezuela, not the economy's in the gutter, trying to just blame everything on immigrants, but the hate is really ramping up. So we heard his tirade against Ilhan Omar last week. This is him talking about immigration.
And we had a meeting, and I say, why is it we only take people from shithole countries, right? Why can't we have some people from Norway, Sweden, just a few? Let us have a few. From Denmark, do you mind sending us a few people? Send us some nice people, do you mind? But we always take people from Somalia, places that are a disaster, right? Filthy, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. The only thing they're good at is going after ships.
Did you notice behind him, he no longer has his token black guy for Trump or any person of color? It's like they were selected back there because they were probably the whitest people you could fucking find.
Yep.
We're not in dog whistle territory. We're on openly being racist, and God, can he list any more white power?
Probably not, because he's too dumb, but that's all it was. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so gross. And then Elon Musk, who, he kind of disappeared for a little bit because Doge was such a disaster. And I don't know if the Nazi salutes, but, he kind of went away. And now they're bringing him back. I'm not sure what the rationale is behind that. But I do think it's important to keep him. If he's going to be involved in anything, we need to hear more of him, not less, because I really don't want the libs who used to love Elon Musk, and he's one of the good ones, he and Gates. It was Elon Musk, Gates, Zuckerberg, Bob Iger, and Warren Buffett. Those were the good billionaires. So it's important for people to continue to hear who these people actually are and not hide them away.
When people say like this is fake, I'm like, actually, well, let's look at Ilhan Omar, who was voted into Congress by a large group of people from Somalia who are in Minnesota, which is really far from Somalia, or Mamdani, who was voted to be mayor, but by a majority of people who are not born in America. That's my understanding, at least. And then California is a big time situation. So I don't know. We just don't want to turn into a communist hellhole, basically.
He's trying not to say the thing that he's saying in every other word, which is like white people didn't vote for them.
Yeah.
And he's also just flat wrong. Like I think it's like 3% of Minnesotans are Somalian. So it's like it's not based on any reality either. It's just this was a little white pride fantasy land.
It is. And of course, that's Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, who has her podcast, right? And there have been some, rumors, whatever, I don't care, but like that they were having some kind of a fling. But yeah, it's just so brazen. It's just out there. White people, we just prefer the whites. Like we just like whites better. It's so gross. Which is, okay, so this is when we were talking about it yesterday a little bit. We didn't have time to show this clip. Again, dislike both of these gentlemen bigly, but it's so important it's especially Jewish Zionists who I have often heard them over my lifetime say they would vote, even though that they're, liberal on a lot of other policies, they would vote right wing because of Israel. And I think it's really important for them to understand, because now they're like, what, this party and the racism of Nick Fuentes, and there's the bill that what's his name, Chuck Schumer proposed yesterday, and we can talk about it because there are a couple of moments in there that are truly disgraceful. In addition to this being the 20th anti-Semitism resolution that we're having in the last 2 years, as a genocide is being perpetrated by the Jewish state. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, so this is Nick Fuentes explaining why white supremacist neo-Nazis who deny the Holocaust and say Hitler's kind of cool also really have a ton of respect for Israel.
At the SPLC, they're literally counting down the days until whites are a minority in America. So forgive me if I don't believe them when they talk about compassion. There's a genocide going on right now. It's not against the Jews.
How many Christians are there?
In Gaza, it's against whites.
How many Christians are there in the world? Like me and
1
you.
point some billion,
Yeah,
2 billion.
How many Jews are there?
15 million.
Okay. So with a straight face, you're going to tell me the world is being overrun by the Jewry, by 15 million people, when there are over 1 billion Christians. There is a genocide of Christians like poor old Nick Fuentes going on at the hands of these 15 million Jews. Really?
See, this attitude is why you're losing. When you say
who am I losing
white
to?
People,
who am I losing to?
White people.
Who am I losing to?
You're seeing it. Mass migration. You're losing to me. We are losing as a civilization of mass migration. And here's the difference. In Israel, they have my politics. In Israel, they want to maintain a Jewish majority. If they had it their way, it would only be Jewish people. They're fighting like hell so that Jewish people can have as much territory, a Jewish state. They can be proudly Jewish in their own land. Whereas in America, we are being besieged by 10 million illegal immigrants in 4 years. And then whites and Christians are going to be the minority. And that's true in Canada, Australia, all the countries in Europe. So you could say there's 2 billion people, but what's the proportionality? What is the percentage of people being born that are white? Where's the arrow pointing? Where are we going to be in 50 years? In 50 years, there might be in Israel. In 50 years, there isn't going to be a white Christendom.
You don't believe.
So obviously, I despise both of those people. Nick Fuentes is disgusting. But that is an insight into why so many white supremacists who hate Jews, they're anti-Semitic, they love the idea of Israel. It's a model for how they want to create a white Christian nationalist, make America great again. That's why they love Israel.
Yeah, they're after the brown people. That's the bottom line,
Yep.
And he tries to make it about religion too. Well, half the undocumented immigrants are Christians, Catholic people coming from Mexico and whatnot. So it's not about religion. It's just about white. It's just white.
Yep. And because you look what Israel's doing to churches and Christian communities in the West Bank and in Gaza.
Completely.
It's not religion. Right?
No, and it's not America first at all either. I mean, you don't care about Americans that have died from this war that Israel killed.
No. Yeah. No, it's disgusting. But I do just feel like, there are people who I think still don't understand why somebody who's basically a Nazi likes Zionism.
Right.
And,
that is illustrative right there for sure. It is. And I watched a lot of the interview, not all of it, but did you see the clip where he was talking? Pierce asked him about, are you gay? There's a rumor you're gay. And he's like, I'm not gay. And then he's like, have you ever had sex? And he says, I've never had sex. Women are a lot to deal with. So he's a misogynist incel.
Yeah.
And that's
it's so funny. I thought he was, I know nothing about him except I thought he was out. I thought he was gay and was out about it, which also didn't make sense to me. But then I did see the aftermath.
I take him on what he said. I don't think he was joking about never having had sex. I think that was very real.
How
because
would you
that's
ever
his
say
audience.
that out loud? That's crazy at 20.
But his audience,
yeah,
that is his audience.
Yeah.
The people that they have this frustration because, nobody
hate
cares about the
women. Yeah.
poor white boy,
Yeah.
poor white kids.
Yeah.
We're the oppressed, and
Yep.
so this is his brand.
Like they hate homosexuality, but they hate women more. They hate Jews, but they love Zionism. Like, they are just a lot of pent up anger, frustration, and that's where, going back to like the AI stuff, where like the clip that we showed yesterday of Sam Altman talking about like how do people raise babies before ChatGPT, and the idea that for the Disney characters, the reason you license that to OpenAI is so that people can sit there in their own individual spaces and create their own stories. They don't have to go to a movie theater. They don't have to sit with a group of people. They don't have to worry about somebody creating a piece of art that they might not respond to in all the ways. And it's like chipping away at society being a community, right? Like it is very effective, and it makes people lonely. And I do think that the loneliness epidemic is real. It's real.
It is real. A lot of it's self-imposed.
Yeah, I mean,
as well.
somebody needs to kick your ass and get you to know how to be part of society. But yeah,
right. But we're gonna have AI. Nick Fuentes is gonna say, "Hey, Netflix, make me a racist movie where a guy who never has sex gets to murder a lot of women and take over the world."
Yeah.
And it's going to do it for him. And
Yep.
in 5 minutes, he'll be able to click the movie. We made your movie. Here it is. And then he's going to say, "Hey, here's a link to the movie I made to all my incel brethren."
Yep. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, it really is I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to piece together like where it started and why. I know, and as Macarius is saying, like the rugged individual idea of the US, my freedom, and everybody has his own, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Obviously, that's a capitalist message to make any issue you have your problem. It's not a systemic problem. It's you work harder, the meritocracy, all of that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, I think it's really part of our capitalist society of America from a long time ago. And this has just been amped up, to 11, where everyone is just going to be, they're balkanizing everybody. Like everybody's in his own little corner doing his own thing, because it's so much nicer to have everything work smoothly for you, right? Like you punch in exactly what you want, and your little ChatGPT or Claude, whatever, best friend says all the things you want to hear. And isn't that so lovely? And everything's so smooth. And now you cannot exist with any real person anywhere. They're stripping us of humanity entirely.
And that's a big use of AI, is going to be this personalized AI, right? So Nick Fuentes AI is not going to get along with my AI. We're going to be mortal enemies, but he's going to think he's talking to AI, and AI is bringing the truth. So
yeah, exactly.
Here's some evidence that backs up the oppression of us poor whites.
Yeah, it's not great. And just again, like never to be told no. Like when I first had Asher, my older son, a friend of mine said that her mother's big piece of advice was, every time you tell him no, you're doing him a favor. It's really hard when you aren't sleeping and your kid's having a tantrum and you're just like, oh my God, just give him the fucking candy like that, and sometimes we all do those kinds of things. But like that really stuck with me, like that kind of discipline, knowing that like you can hear the words no and then have to shift, and maybe it makes you angry and have to deal with those emotions, and just like have a whole range of human in you. And when I've seen my friends who are actors and actresses who are not like wildly famous, but pretty famous, and they're on set 18 hours a day, and 150 people are at their beck and call. Everybody gives them exactly what they want. You want to Splenda with a thing, and you want a twist of this, and do you need your all of that stuff? It makes them insane. it makes you crazy because you do not have an idea anymore. Like you forget. And these people actually are not Nepo babies. Like they came out here just like I did. They were just luckier, but like they grew up, some of them poor, some of them just, regular middle class. They become crazy because it's not good for you.
Well, and my last girlfriend was a teacher, and I disagreed with a lot of the stuff that I saw that they were having to teach, the way, the methodology they're using to teach kids these days. And some of it is just me being an old guy, and some of it is like true. It's it's not, that this whole, the Gen Z got a lot of shit for being a trophy award winning generation. Everybody gets a trophy, like you can do no wrong. But that was part of her curriculum, teaching these kids that in a way, like, well, it's not that you're wrong. It's about being gentle about everything. And sometimes you just need to know you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And so this AI thing coming along, they're going to have their AI buddy, teacher buddy, who's going to say, oh, well, good try there, buddy.
Good effort. Yeah.
And they're going to grow up scared to pick
Or
up the
we'll
phone and talk to a human.
And be like, that was a really good response. That was actually really good. That was right. You're accurate.
Nice
Doesn't
try.
matter. Yeah.
So,
and while all that
AI can't be used in a good way, because it can, it's just
Right.
not going to be. And there's no, without anyone regulating or overseeing this or, implementing this, it's just like school districts are going to buy the AI that the mayor of the town gets a kickback from.
Yep.
Oh
my God. Absolutely. When my kids first started middle school, there was an initiative where like every kid had to have an iPad. And first of all, it's such a weird balance because, like, yes, I want them to be technologically proficient if that's what everybody's supposed to do, right? Like, you have to be able to do that. Also, everything was, very quickly digitized. So some kids didn't have access to that kind of stuff at home. But, they are all taking kickbacks. Of course they are. And then Apple or whoever is getting subsidies from municipal boards who are saying we need, 70,000 iPads for all of our middle school students. And that just, I don't know, all of it. Like, I want people to go back to just like reading a book. Like, I can't even like read a book, and I don't know. I will say my kids, like, they make phone calls, and they certainly were not participation trophy kids. And actually, I didn't know, like, I don't know. I know I hear about that a lot, but like, man, sports were so hardcore, and everything was like, you didn't just get a part in a play because the teacher liked you. Like, I don't know. I'm really kind of conflicted on it because I also feel like some of the people pushing some of this stuff are really working hard to wedge between different generations. And I feel like that's also part of the project,
I think that's part of it. But personally, seeing some of the curriculum at the 7th grade level that was being pushed, the way they
really
did
too
it,
bad. No, it's horrible.
It was really discouraging because I'm like, you gotta hear no, and you gotta hear that you're not right, and this was a bad paper. You need honest criticism on some level. And so look, I know everything we do, we tend to overreact to the last thing. So like,
right.
There's that, and then he swings back, and it's, this, everything's a reaction to the last thing. But I just think there's a balance that we have to watch out for, because AI is going to swing us heavily the wrong way right out the gate.
Oh my God.
And we're going to have to say, whoa, kids need to be friends with each other. There has to be, you got to hear no. You got to hear you're wrong.
Have to hear no. And also that's okay. Like, to be so scared to be wrong is also a problem, right? Like, to be so scared of failure.
Yeah, honestly, like, learning to take criticism is really important. Grad school for me, as an art guy ish, you learn criticism. You have to take a critique, and like, you can insult me like crazy, and it doesn't faze me at all, because I'm listening for what I did wrong. I'm not listening for, oh, they don't like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't factor into it.
100%. Yeah. I feel like in the arts also people get a little bit more coddled, and that's unfortunate because like you want to sort of be like an athlete about it and want to get better. And so like my coach would, I'd come off stage and feel like I killed it, and he'd sit me down and talk for an hour and tell me all the things I did wrong. But like you soak that up because you want to get better. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
This is like a bit of a side journey, but I think it has to do with Stephen Miller. So, and also JD Vance is such a like desperately weird person. This was it Benny Johnson something? I don't know. It was some right-wing convention, but I think the extra person he's talking about is Stephen Miller.
Now, I want to talk about Sly and all of his great accomplishments and why we're gathered here to celebrate him. But I want to first say, people often ask me what it's like to be the Vice President of the United States. And a lot of it is exactly what you would expect it to look like if you watched on TV or just paid attention to the media. But sometimes you get these behind-the-scenes moments that I will never, ever forget for the rest of my life. So, for example, today I'm in the Oval Office with the President of the United States and our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and we're talking about something really, really important. And the President kind of holds up his hand and says, no, hold on a second. There's something much more important. Shoes. And he peers over the Resolute desk and he says, Marco, JD, you guys have shitty shoes. We gotta get you better shoes. So he goes out and grabs a catalog. There happens to be another politician in the room. I won't say who, and you'll find out why in a second. And he actually runs us through this incredible shoe catalog. And we're by the way, the President is gifting us with 4 pairs of shoes. And I think 4 pairs for Marco. And he's actually asking our size in the middle of this conversation. He's asking for our size so that he can make sure that we get the right shoes. And he asked this other politician, he said, I'm going to get you some shoes too. And so he says, Marco, what's your shoe size? And Marco's apparently an 11.5. He says, JD, what's your shoe size? My shoe size is 13. And he asked this politician, who I won't embarrass, what his shoe size is, and he says 7. President, he kind of leans back in his chair and says, you can tell a lot about a man by his shoe size. We won't ask the second lady for comment on that particular topic.
Okay, so I hate all of it, except that I think that is a room full of people who know that that's like a dig on Stephen Miller. But who the fuck cares? Oh gosh, you're muted again.
You had to make it good again with Stephen Miller. God damn it. Because it's just crazy that he's telling a story about the president making fun of the guy who's serving the country because he probably has a small dick because he has a small shoe. That's the whole joke, obviously.
Stupid, like 12-year-old humor.
So, does this matter? Like, I don't care what size dick any of those people have that are in the cabinet for anything. I don't care if you have a dick, a dick, don't want a dick. I just keep that out of it.
Yep.
That just shows how petty this man running our fucking country is.
They all are. It is like they are overseeing a genocide, overseeing a proxy war with Russia, where they, for now, a year and a half, have been kidnapping. Oh, that's lucky. Kidnapping people off the streets. Josh is bringing me an appetizer. Thanks, honey. Kidnapping people off the streets up to 60 years old, just to throw them in a wood chipper, basically. They are starting a war with Venezuela. They are destroying our economy even further. They're sending the military into our own communities to terrorize our citizens, and they're making dick jokes. So, congratulations. We made America great again.
And this is the party that raised, they leveraged their Christianity to get here.
Yep.
Mocking someone's possible small penis.
It's just pathetic. It is truly like the bottom of the barrel pathetic. All right, listen, I know we are late. I wanted to talk about 2 or 3 more things really quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
do overtime. Overtime. We need
Overtime.
thing we can put up. And
all right. Well, just because it's
shot
just
or
like
something.
this is like happening. There are a couple things that like so Trump is his numbers are in the tank. Everything's horrific all around us. The economy is awful. It's not getting better. He has been in office now for almost a full year. And this is his response. He was on, I think it's a Politico show, but it's with Dasha Burns, where he talks about the grade he would give for the economy.
Oh, the A+++. Yes.
We got to just show that.
I do want to talk about the economy, sir, here at home. And I wonder what grade you would give
A+.
A+.
Yeah, A++++++.
Well, it's interesting because I talked to a supporter of yours. Her name is Melanie from Westmoreland County, PA, and she loves you. She gave you overall an A++ grade. But here's what she said about the economy. She said, quote, groceries, utility, insurance, and the basic cost of running small business keep rising faster than wages. She also says that not enough is being done. People are buying their holiday presents. They're planning.
Look, don't be dramatic.
No.
Don't be dramatic.
They're planning their budgets for next year,
Here's what I
Mr.
want.
President.
I know.
He's
Don't
like,
be
that's the
dramatic.
nicest he's been to anybody. He was calling people stupid. Like he's just incapable of hearing.
Oh,
now.
you're going to make this about Christmas and the poor kids. Come on. Don't be dramatic. Look, anyone that thinks this is an A++ economy,
Yeah.
they are rich as fuck because for them it literally is an A++. Like, oh shit, we can go nuts. Our tax breaks are coming. You know, they're not affected by the whatever the cost of eggs goes up or whatever is offset by them charging their renters fucking $1,000 more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so yes, the elites, his circle of people are loving this economy.
They love it.
Everyone
And
else,
he said again the thing about don't get your daughters. They don't need $37. They need 2 or 3. You don't need pencils. You need 1. Like he does all that stuff.
Yeah. And of course, what's he doing? Is he gonna not buy things? I mean,
He's
his
knocking
kids-
down the East Wing and creating a $200 million ballroom, and stealing
and showing off
Venezuela's
his gold
oil.
and
yeah.
MAGA needs to come for him. MAGA needs to wake up and really come for his ass, because that would change things here, and they should be.
Well, let's see. Right now, his net positive on the economy, how would you rate the U.S. economy today, is a negative 37% overall. Republicans +9, Democrats independents -59%, Democrats -77%, MAGA Republicans 37% positive, non-MAGA Republicans -33%. But he's only talking to his base, who I think that base is getting smaller and smaller, but you need more than just the base. But he doesn't care because he's not running again, whether he instates himself forever as the forever president or if he's just not running again. He's never given a shit about like the state of the Republican Party unless it reflects upon him.
And when you ask why aren't more politicians on either side of the aisle fighting back against this, particularly the left, I mean the left, the Democrats, they're part of the class benefiting from all these fucking evil things he's doing.
Yeah.
They're getting the tax breaks. I don't need Ro Khanna to come on and lecture us about anything, because he's made more off the stock market than anyone in fucking Washington. So
yeah. I mean, it's just a new statistic. Like half of the country says they can't even afford to fly anywhere. At the same time, we have Sean Duffy telling people, the Department of Transportation guy, telling people to dress up to travel. Like they are so out of touch intentionally with the whole country because it doesn't matter, because we all know it doesn't matter.
And they're, like I listen to NPR every day, like I said, and NPR is running these stories where they're talking to small businesses about the economy, right? That's a big thing for them.
Yeah.
And look, some small businesses are thriving in the economy because the rich are getting richer and they're the ones that have the money to buy shop small businesses.
Right.
That's not an indication of the economy for the middle class who are now priced out of buying all this stuff. They have to buy all this shit from Amazon because they need to give their kids a good Christmas.
Yep.
Right. So, but that doesn't matter because the rich, they got even more money to spend at these local small businesses, you know,
which also means that when the inflation goes up, poor people, working class, we have no middle class anymore. They're being completely ignored. The prices can go up by 50%, 100%. It doesn't matter because they're actually only selling to the top 10% of our population, the top 10% of the economy people, who for them, the extra, $1,000, $2,000 at Christmas isn't a big deal. And so it might still look like, oh, people are buying a lot. Yeah. Like, oh, we're still like, look, the economy is good. Like Christmas sales are up, but you have to, it's like looking at the crosstabs on any poll, you have to see like, but who's buying it? How many things are bought? And is it just like, the handful? I mean, look at this. This is an insane statistic. This is worse than before the French Revolution. 3 Americans own more wealth than the bottom 50%. That is obscene. It's grotesque. This is policy failure after policy failure, and it is bipartisan because let's just remember, those 3 guys were big Democrats up until 2024. They did not become this wealthy because they were being regulated.
They have all tied their wealth as well to AI, which is why AI is too big to fail. Because their wealth is now tied to it. Even though they could all lose half their wealth and still be richer than 48% of the fucking world.
They do not want
more money than
but like it's like they get really cheap if you want to shave a penny off of their earnings, right? Like then they do not, like it would be cheaper for them actually to have Medicare for all or single payer universal health care. They will not do that because they don't want their taxes to go up even 1%. And they also do not want, it's a disciplinary tactic. I mean, I know we talk about it all the time, but this is how you discipline labor. Like you're tied to your job.
Yeah. And it's the risk of what happens. Okay. What if they do implement this Medicare for all or something, healthcare that's cheaper and people are less tied to their employment? Well, now what are they going to fight for? Because they got that. Well, now they're going to fight for better, higher minimum wage. And wow, shit, fuck that. Oh, they want to be safe at work again. Well, the Trumpers removed all the work safety requirements. I mean, not all, but like a large percentage of your work safety requirements are now gone.
Yeah.
We just gloss over that because it's so insignificant relative to the other evil shit they've done.
I mean, it really is just amazing that like the tirade 2 days ago or 3 days ago, Trump said those disgusting things about only wanting white people here. And then Elon Musk said his thing, barely a blip in like regular media. And it feels like eons ago because every day they do another assault on everybody. I mean, it is truly phenomenal. I have more to say, but should we end it? You're ready. We're ready. Okay.
Oh, you're asking me to call
it I want you to tell me what we're supposed to do. All right. There's so much going on in Israel. I do just want to quickly say that we are finally 2 years plus in getting a little bit of pushback from Eurovision. We have several countries now saying that they are boycotting Eurovision, which I don't even really, it's like, the FIFA for singers. And I don't know why Israel is part of the Eurovision because they're not part of Europe. They insist that they were, part of the Middle Eastern territory 3,000 years ago or whatever the hell. But somehow now they want to assert their Europeanness. But anyway, Portugal's Eurovision entry at risk. 17 artists from 11 acts at Festival de Canção refused. Canção. Okay, too much wine. Refused to represent the country should they win, saying in joint statement, we do not accept complicity with the violation of human rights, referencing Israel's genocide in Gaza. Iceland has also joined the boycott. The winner from last year released a video and a statement. His name is Nemo. He handed back the trophy. I mean, let's face it, a year ago, we were over a year into this genocide and, 75 years into the apartheid system. But okay, apparently this is it's a big deal. It's like FIFA big deal, but for singers. And he hands back his trophy. And then Spain, in announcing that they also are withdrawing from Eurovision, put out this video.
Radio Televisión Española abandona Eurovisión después de que se confirme la presencia de Israel. La organización mantiene a Israel en la competición después de que haya matado a al menos 70.000 palestinos, siga atacando y matando a población civil, incluso ahora en pleno alto el fuego, y mientras es investigada por genocidio en los tribunales internacionales.
That's a powerful way for Spain to withdraw, is side by side to show some images from this genocide. So I don't know.
Well, we want to be at the place where everyone's pretending they were always against this war, and we're seeing signs of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not calling that hope, but good job, Iceland.
Yeah. Too little, too late, but welcome to the fight, I guess. All right. We'll be back on Sunday. We love and adore you guys. The only power is people power. We are clearly not voting our way out of this absolute horrifying reality that has been created for us and for the rest of the world. So on that note, thank you so much to the Starbucks workers who are going on strike, and to the other union workers who are joining them on strike and refusing to cross the picket line. It's the only way we're ever going to move forward. I love you guys. Cheers. Keep punching up.
Cheers, cheers. I will push the button.
Okay. I'll see you Sunday. Yeah, got it. You got it.
Bye. See you guys Sunday.
By the Teamsters standing with us, it shows Starbucks that the workers are actually truly united. We won't stand for being treated like this. We won't stand for the corporate greed. The work of our allies, not just the Teamsters, but everyone showing out today, the International Day of Solidarity, is truly amazing. Unions and Starbucks stores all over the world are walking out today. It'll show a message to Starbucks that we are here, we are strong, and we will do what it takes until we get this contract.